Hi again, friends, and welcome to a very special half hour. I'm Scott England with my pal, William Lee Golden. William, we meet again.
We do, Scott. Great to see you.
You as always. And 5 years ago, we met here and we talked about your autobiography, which I just happen to have a copy of, Behind the Beard,
yeah.
of which we're still selling.
We are too.
We are. And we have a brand new book.
Yes, we do.
Golden Memories.
Yep.
Tell us about this book.
Well, it's a book of landscape photographs, basically, from the different places I've traveled to with the Oakridgeboys, and a few places I went with my family, taking my young son on vacation, and to St. John, U.S. Virgin Islands, or maybe over to Paris, France, and to England. So, and taking a camera with me wherever we went, take one or two cameras, and I left the shape, to take photographs and kind of see where I'm at, and have it to document, to remember where you're at. And when I started, I really kind of did it, got into the digital camera thing. I'd never done digital before. And I didn't like any of my photos that I ever tried to take. It was on a cheap point and shoot camera with film. And I never liked any of my film photos. So basically what you're seeing is all photos that I've shot since 2008 when I first got my first digital camera.
When you started, you were lugging around some heavy equipment, some expensive equipment. It's changed over the years.
Yeah. And
now you can just about do it with your phone.
I really don't take my big cameras with me anymore because of, well, it's when you get on a bus with a bunch of guys, there's not enough room to take all the equipment that I'd like to. But I found that it's better to have a good camera in your pocket for as a good phone camera. And they really, the megapixels have really gone up in the quality of what they can shoot. And so that's what I'm shooting right now is basically my phone camera.
Well, those phone cameras today, they're making them just as great or better than what you were paying thousands of dollars for 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's a high megapixels is what it is. And but again, like you said, as far as the quality of the what you capture in the film, it's the megapixels that you can capture on that one digital frame. So, but yeah, good cameras have that, but these iPhones are really, they've kicked it up a notch as far as the quality of iPhones now.
They have. Golden Memories, landscape photographs captured on tour with the Oakridgeboys by William Lee Golden, and it's available only at williamleegoldenbook.com. williamleegoldenbook.com will tell you why it's exclusive to there in just a little bit. The reason that we have this book today, William, is we had such a great time with this one, with your autobiography. We sold quite a few. We still are. But I just love palling around with you. I love hanging around with you. And I was looking for another excuse. I would come here about once a week over the last 5 years, and you'd sign 100, 200 books of these.
Yeah.
And we still do. I was looking for another excuse just to hang around you. And I said, we need to do another project. And we thought about it. And you would, when I would come visit, you would show me your latest picture that you took. You'd say, we were on tour here. And you'd show me this beautiful photograph. And the more and more I saw those, I said, wonder if we could make a book out of these.
Well, what I did is started to mention a few minutes ago was the fact that I kind of got into this shooting landscapes because I was trying to paint, learning how to paint with acrylic paints. But I'd do that on the road. I would take my canvas with me and my paint supplies, and I'd put it under the bus, and in the morning we'd check into a new hotel. I'd go out there and unload it, maybe go get a cart, put all my bags and my canvas and painting supplies on a cart, lug it up to the room and set it up by a window, put my easel up by a window, and get some natural light in there and stand there most of the day. And first thing you know, it's time to pack your pants and get ready to go sing.
And each painting that you would do would take 6 months, a year sometimes.
Yeah, I'm a slow painter.
Well,
Not only talk slow, but I paint even slower than that. It does take me sometimes, certain paintings. There's some that I could do in 2 or 3 months that I have, but then the ones that I really kind of build on it, it takes a little while to get it. You do the underpaintings and all of that. You really kind of got to build it up from the back side to give it a three-dimensional look.
A couple things from your painting days. You mentioned you would take all of your equipment, your easel, all of that, the lights even, the lighting up to your hotel room, and you would paint all day, all evening up until showtime or after the show.
Yeah.
So people, they think, oh, the life of a country music star, rowdy after the show and before the show and parties, and you're up in your room painting.
Yeah.
So a little bit different than what they think. And another thing, you mentioned you would keep them under the bus, your latest project. Now we're talking 30 years ago, probably. I'm at the Assembly Hall in Champaign, Illinois. I'm interviewing the Oakridgeboys for the news.
Yeah.
30 years ago, after the interview, William says, walk to the bus with me. I'm going to show you my latest painting. And you take it out from under the bus and you show us. And now 3 decades later, here we sit in your living room.
Yeah.
It's amazing. If you would have told me that 30 years ago, I would have never believed you, but I'm so thankful.
Well, I appreciate it, Scott. And I treasure all the times we get to spend together, too, because you brought a lot out of me, man. And I'm not a writer, but you are, and you ask a lot of the right questions throughout our interviews. You would come here, like you said, every week, basically. You would come here 2 or 3 times a week, basically. We'd sit on the front porch for a couple hours, and you had a legal pad that you had questions on. And you would ask them, you'd set your little recorder on the table between us there, and I'd forget it was there, and then we'd get off talking, and you would ask me questions, and I'd go into whatever it was we was talking about. So,
when you forgot it was there, that's when we got to the good stuff, didn't we? When you forgot that tape recorder was there. All right, your chance to get this book, WilliamLeeGoldenBook.com, and we're going to talk about some of the people who have already gotten the book. They have written their reviews of the book. They posted them online. And we're going to show you some pictures of those people and tell you some of the things that they've said. Mackenzie McNew says, I'm absolutely in love with William Lee's book. Makes me want to travel to all those wonderful places. I thought I couldn't be more obsessed with the guy. He's the best. So there you go. Mackenzie's obsessed with you, William.
That's sweet.
Is that okay with you?
Absolutely.
Sherry Lewis, I loved the book. It is so amazing. Its photos were amazing, made me feel so peaceful and calm, just like I'm standing right next to him as he took them. Thanks so much to William Lee Golden. Just another example of God's work through the talents of William.
It's another way to communicate. So if they're not into listening to a barbed wire baritone singer, then hey, I got a picture here I'd like to.
There are a number of I call them stars, country music stars and artists who have many talents or have a number of different talents. You have the singing talent everybody knows you for. You're painting, you're a photographer, writer now. Ronnie McDowell, he's a great singer, great artist. Steve Warner, another great artist. Is there something you think in your brain that gives you a number of different talents?
Well, I don't know, man. It's just a thing that I have a great appreciation for great artists and great photographers, really. I love great photography. In fact, I have several of my photographs here, and I use it as fine art photography. I mean, I've got a big photographs on my walls in here. And there's a picture of my painting on the wall here, one of my paintings that I did of Monet's water garden in France.
And you took the photograph, it's in the book,
Yeah.
and then you made the painting out of that photograph.
I use each one as a reference, you know. I take them with the subject that I want and the image, you know. It's about choosing it's what you choose is the main image for you, art or photographs, and but I use it as fine art basically because I was taking pictures to paint from, and I would take them some and go down to whatever is close to me here, the things that are growing on the ground, the flowers, what topographic is right here where I'm standing, you know, because you got a foreground, a middle ground, and a background. So it's trying to get a three-dimensional look on a flat canvas, and so that's what photography and art is, really.
William Lee Golden, Golden Memories, available at williamleegoldenbook.com. And this is a hardback coffee table book, even though there's not one picture of a coffee table in here. So I don't know, but you put that on your coffee table, and when guests come over, they can thumb through it, and they will love everything. Each book is hand numbered, as you see there. Each one has a certificate of authenticity because each and every book, William Lee Golden's going to autograph every one, all 5,000. We've got a ways to go, but I know that you're doing a few every day, aren't you?
Yeah.
5,000 copies, and that's it. Once they're gone, they're gone. We sold a lot more of William's autobiography than that, but we want this to be extra special. So each one's hand numbered with the certificate, and William Lee will sign each and every one of Golden Memories at williamleegoldenbook.com. Have you got a favorite photo in this book, William?
I got several favorites. I know you put one in here of the people that was having a wedding that I walked up on.
Yes.
I was out walking the beach one day with my camera out in Oregon, the Oregon coast out there. And
we'll show them on the screen right now. And you just happened on this couple.
I did.
And you didn't want to disturb them.
I did not disturb them. They had a cameraman there shooting wedding pictures. I just stood over by him, and I was their second guy shooting wedding pictures. But I don't know their names, and I'm still, as we were talking about it, I don't know if they're still married. But this was in Lincoln City, Oregon.
Lincoln City, Oregon.
Yeah, and I've got the date of that photograph somewhere. It's on the...
So, and they have no idea they're in your book.
They have no idea they're in my book.
That's a great... They got 2 pages.
They got a center page, 2 pages.
That's amazing. One of my favorite, I think my favorite of all the photos that you took was the church that's on your wall in your kitchen. Tell me about that photo.
There's 2 photos that I took of churches that's at Big Cedar Lodge in Missouri. And it's just south of Branson down there, but it's owned by Johnny Morris, the guy that owns Bass Pro Shops all over the country. But Johnny Morris has built not only great hotels and resorts, but he's got up at the top of the rock up above that place is another. One is a chapel down by the lake down there. That's the one you're talking about. What I did is it was a fall of the year. It was in the autumn. They had all these colors changing. And I saw a shot of it that I wanted, which was on a trail there. But it was an opening there that was, and it was all these colors around it. So I basically got these leaves in it, all the color, then the chapel there. And yeah, it is a good shot. I like that one. And I also like the one at the top of the rock up there of that stone church. It looks like an antique church, but it's really a new stone church that Johnny Morris built that too. But he has these chapels, you know, I guess they do weddings and things there. But anyhow, I thought they were great. I know I went to one of those maybe 10 or 12 times going out to take pictures out there, and I never could get it the way I liked it, as far as the light was concerned. So I had to go earlier to get it, then it'd be too overshadowed and stuff. But it took about a dozen times going back to the same place and paying to get in there every time.
Really? They should let you go in for free now that you took the most beautiful shot it's ever had. That's for sure. All right, let's get back to some more reviews from people who've already got your book, William. Marla Morgan says, I got my book today. She got 129 out of 5,000. Pretty low number. Thank you, William Lee Golden and Scott England. I had to give myself the shout out. Love this book. Ron Moore Jr. You've met Ron.
I do know Ron. He's a great artist too. He's a great guy.
Ron says, as I flip through these pages of this magnificent, of this beautiful book taken by William Lee Golden, I am blessed with God's endless canvas of masterpieces. Each photo captures the beauty of God's blessings. I highly recommend this book to anyone. Now here's the punchline, William. Ron says, there's only 3 books I read. Behind the Beard, your autobiography, Golden Memories, and the Holy Bible.
Wow.
Wow. That's pretty...
Yeah, after reading my autobiography, he would need to read the Bible. Because you talked to more than one wife of mine.
I did.
And she got into some things of my unfaithfulness that I was not going to get into, but I couldn't deny it. So,
I talked to your first wife for your autobiography, Behind the Beard, and she was dying of cancer, and she gave me the last weekend of her life for your book.
Yeah.
To share her memories.
Yeah.
And I told her, and I told you afterward, I said that was her last gift to you. And it was. What she put in here was a gift. She told the truth, and might not have felt like a gift when you first read it, but it's a gift, and it was an honor. It was an honor.
Well, it was good. I learned some things in my own book now because I told you could go talk to anybody that we talk about, and you did. You went and interviewed all these other people to get their opinion of something. 2 people can see something and they see totally 2 different stories if you ask them what it was they saw.
And I talked to your current and your final wife, Simone, and she was very, I've never told her this, but she was very leery of me. She was very, she didn't know what to think of me, didn't know how it was going to turn out, you know, and she didn't know me as well as you knew me. But she gave me her time and was very honest, and I think I've won her over after the last 5 or 6 years. But anyway, it was an honor to talk to everybody that we did for your book.
But I think that's the way you should write a book. If you run in from the truth, then you got a problem to begin with. So it's who you are, man. You got to be honest about who you are and what you're doing and what got you to where you're at. It certainly didn't. There was no education to get me prepared for the road that I chose to go down, singing harmony with the Oakridge Boys.
There's really. People can go to Belmont or wherever, but you have to be out there doing it to get the education. So we're talking about not only William's brand new book, Golden Memories, but Behind the Beard, his autobiography. You can get both of them at williamleegoldenbook.com. And for a very limited time, and the limited time is until 5,000 of these are gone, we're offering a Golden Bundle special. I came up with that, the Golden Bundle, where you can get this book and this book at a special discounted price. William will sign both of them, and you can check that out at williamleegoldenbook.com. As soon as the 5,000 copies are gone there, the price goes back up to the original price of William's
And there's over
autobiography.
200 photographs in this autobiography
Yeah,
book.
if you want to see what's behind the beard, in addition to read about it, you'll have to get the book,
Yeah.
because it's got the...
Goes back to before I lost my razor. And it's got pictures of the Oak Ridge Boys from when I first joined them, so for the past 60 years.
You know, we've done 2 books together, William, and I am so proud. Not only have we sold some, made a little money, but I'm so proud of the response from your fans, because your fans love this book, your autobiography, and they're loving the brand new one. Just, you know, I had it pictured in my mind. I tried to explain it to you how I wanted to do it, and it came out exactly the way I wanted it, and hopefully it did you. But your fans just go crazy for this. Like I said, they're putting their pictures online when they get the book.
Yeah.
They're even putting the picture of the box it came in,
Yeah.
which is wild. But anyway, they love your book.
Well, thank you. And we were talking about those 2 chapels that I took photos that are in here that Johnny Morris owns there with Bass Pro Shops. But yeah, those are some of my favorite shots too, man. Those are the church shot. I got both of them in big on my wall here. They're on canvas, like an art piece, man. It's printed on canvas.
Sure.
And it's a canvas G-clave type process. But yeah, I love that. And this is Barbara Bush's flower garden
wonderful.
you got. And that was the last time I was there. I also painted a picture of her flower garden one time. And there's 3 trees there that blew down in a storm.
Is that right?
Yeah, that was in my art piece, but then they're gone in reality now.
Wow. All right, let's talk about some other folks who have sent in their picture with their book, Golden Memories. Chris Maeda, I think is her name. Chris. And this is an amazing thing that Chris has done. And this shows you the loyalty and the love that they have for you, William. It says, here is my photo with Red Rock Canyon and Mount Charleston in the background. Since William took pictures here, I figured I'd take a picture with his book in front of it. Says, I love the book, especially since there's a lot of local photos for me. I hope he sees my photo location suggestions if he ever makes it out here again. Can you imagine somebody getting your book in the mail and then taking it to Red Rock Canyon to pose with it in front of the rocks that you took?
Yeah, that's amazing. And that's a beautiful drive too. It's about a 15-mile drive around that canyon. And it's a circle you can go in and go all the way around it. And there's great places to pull off and stop and look great. Everywhere is a good scene.
Couple more fans. Janelle Meadows says, today will be a golden day, as she received her book. Larry, and you said you know Larry. I just got my book. It's great. Just a few pages in, you get a little taste of William Lee's humor. The book and photography are fantastic. My favorite all-around artist.
Wow.
And let's do a couple more. Anita Mayhew Wilson. I finally got to sit down and look through my book. I love all the pictures, the little writings he wrote about some of them. He's gotten to travel and take some amazing photos of places and things. I highly recommend getting one. You won't be disappointed. Thank you, Anita. And Hugh and Peggy Norris. And it looks like Hugh might have lost his razor too in this picture. He's got a pretty good beard.
Yeah.
Said, received our golden memories today. It's an awesome collection of William's work. We really enjoyed looking at all of his photos. We also thank Marcia Courtney, Stephanie Gray Faust, Debbie Merrill Greek, and quite a few others who we don't have time to get into, but they're loving golden memories.
That's great. I enjoyed taking all those photographs.
William, and a few of them, they were at dangerous locations. You were right on the edge. You've always lived on the edge in life, but some of these you're really on the edge.
I do. I get on the edge sometimes, and as I look back on it, man, it kind of scares me to think about how close I got there, and just how one more step would have been too much. So anyhow, I survived and didn't fall 200 feet down.
You were on the edge of the cliffs, the canyons, all of that to get the perfect photo. Also, we didn't mention this. Now, whenever I came up with the idea, I said maybe we could do some photos, do a photo book. You brought me a laptop computer that you had, one of those great big ones, and he said at the time it was locked up.
Yeah.
Couldn't get into it. He said, if you can get into this computer, I think there's a few photos. And we managed to get in it. I clicked on the first photo, it's beautiful. Clicked on the second one, beautiful. And realized there were over 100,000 photos on that laptop. And William said, I have a few photos. Yeah. And I thought, boy, this is going to take a long time. And it did as I clicked on each one. It took a lot longer to do it than I thought, but we finally got it done. It was worth it.
I really appreciate it because, you know, like I said, man, I gave you the computer and you know what you're looking for, you know, and what you did is you kind of took them behind the scenes and around where I was shooting pictures, and other friends that might be with me, you know, sometimes I would get in their shots somehow, but they would give them to me, and so you put some of those in there too.
The real lesson of this book, William, you traveled the world, you traveled our country, but the lesson, I think, is there's as much beauty in your backyard as there is across the world.
Yeah.
Because you have pictures from your backyard that are just as beautiful. And in this book, you got pictures of the horses nearby, the creek across the yard, hay bales across the road.
Yeah.
Simple things that you saw as beauty, and people can see it in the book.
Yeah.
WilliamLeeGoldenBook.com to get your signed copy, limited to only 5,000, and you'll treasure it, just like all of your fans do. William, anything else you'd like to say about this book?
Well, I tell you, I was just happy to get a compilation of some of my photographs that I could pass down to my family, to my young sons and my grandkids and great-grandkids, and so they can see where I've been, a few places I've been. And like I said, these are all photographs that's been taken since 2008 when I first got my first digital camera. And, but yeah, and I wish I'd have had one years before, but I didn't. And, you know, as life goes on, there's a season for everything, and sometimes I get into things for a while and then see how far it goes and see what I can do, if I like what I'm doing or not, you know. But I found a lot of enjoyment out of going out and taking photos. It's something, because you get back to the hotel, you load it into your computer and put it up there and pop it on the screen, man, it takes you right back there. And it's also, it was getting into digital photography that I started understanding more about the light and shadow of all photographs, and the backlight or the front light, and, but it's all about lights and shadows.
Mm-hmm. There are, the last picture is one of you and your wife, and the page before that has two special photos dedicated to Joe Bonzel, your singing partner, and Rusty, your son.
Yeah.
And you took both of those photos. Do you remember the one you took of Joe and his sister in Philly?
I do, and I really wanted it for that, what I got, man. I wanted that shot. It was there close to a neighborhood that he grew up in, and the Oaks were there for the day, and we had our bus parked down there by the river and had to walk up to a hotel there, but it was right by it. But we spent the day there, and I thought, man, that huge, big old bridge across that river there in Philadelphia, that was a bridge and a river that he traveled all the time in, you know. But his sister had come to visit him that day, and I got both of them to stand there by a rail with that river and the bridge behind them as a backdrop for it. But it was kind of, so you found that picture in all of these that I had.
Yeah, and that was a special place for Joe.
Yeah.
Special. He loved that area of Philadelphia.
He did. He was a real Philly guy.
He was. And then the one you took of Rusty, it wasn't meant for the book, but it was just one that you were outside and you were watching the eclipse that went right over your house.
I know it, man. It went completely dark here. and there was we had some solar lights outside. It got dark. Crickets started chirping, and the solar lights come on, man, and started blinking. But it was in the middle of the day, but that's what happened. And it's the first time I'd ever been in one that went completely dark. And we just happened to be in that path.
And you had that, you caught that fun picture of Rusty enjoying the eclipse with his glasses on, and it kind of captured his personality. And
it does.
It's a special photo in here. Very special book. Golden Memories, you won't regret it. William Lee Golden at williamleegoldenbook.com. Get your signed copy only there. William, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Scott.
It's an honor.
I really enjoyed what you put together here.
Well, I think your fans will treasure it.
Some of my favorite photos right there.